With the 2020 legislative session approaching, Libertas Institute is working on a number of significant policy initiatives. And while we're working on many more beyond that, we wanted to take the next few minutes and share with you some of the main priorities that we have in the weeks ahead.
Every year, hundreds of people enter the criminal justice system in Utah, and from the time they enter the system until their exit, there's a lot that goes on in between that we need to be tracking and researching to make sure that if any problems exist, we can solve those with data-driven policy. This year, we are working on a specific piece of legislation to ensure we at least have one part of that solved, which is transparency with prosecutors, who are the gatekeepers of the criminal justice system.
You may have heard in the news recently that law enforcement agencies have begun using DNA databases to solve crimes. While this may sound like a positive development, without the proper protections in place, your rights could be compromised. We'll be working on a bill this session to strike the proper balance between privacy rights and law enforcement's use of this new tool.
This year, we're excited to be clarifying and protecting the rights of property owners through eminent domain. We're looking to make sure that when land is taken, that it's a last resort, that there's no other land available, and that no more land is taken than necessary.
Do you unlock your smartphone with your face? Do you unlock it with your finger? No surprise, most people do. But should law enforcement be able to compel you to unlock this phone when you've been accused of a crime? The Libertas Institute will be working on this very issue in this session, looking to go and set guardrails for when it would be acceptable for law enforcement to compel you to do this, while also balancing that against your constitutionally given rights.
For the past several years, we've been working on civil asset forfeiture, which is a law that lets the government take property from people without even charging them with a crime. For the past several months, we've actually been meeting with a variety of different law enforcement agencies and stakeholders to learn what they're really most concerned about with forfeiture and the laws that we've been getting passed, and also express some of the things we still want to see changed. And so we've been trying to find some consensus. There's going to be an upcoming bill that's a bit of a give and a take, but overall a net positive for property owners in Utah who are concerned about this law.
This year, we'll be part of a coalition pushing for special needs tax credit scholarships, which would allow additional flexibility for families with special needs students. They would be able to use the funds for things like educational therapy, homeschooling supplies, tutoring, and private school tuition.
When a person can't afford to pay their fine associated with a citation, their driver's license is suspended. And this prohibits them from getting to and from work every day and having reliable transportation for all sorts of areas of life. And without reliable transportation, they're going to have a more difficult time paying off that fine. And so we're working on legislation to end the unnecessary suspension of driver's license for failure to pay court debt.
This year, we're also excited to be working on an issue with Representative Moss involving ordinances with our local municipalities. And we want to make sure that if there's no nuisance involved, that we do not criminalize ordinance violators for things such as if your dog gets out, or if you haven't had time to mow down some weeds that you need to, or if you park in the wrong spot. We just want to make sure that we don't criminalize people who aren't criminals.
A few months ago, we all learned that our driver license photos are being used for facial recognition scanning by law enforcement in Utah, but there's no law that regulates this at all. So we've been working alongside our friends at the ACLU of Utah on some structured guidelines and limitations to make sure that, sure, law enforcement can use this in certain contexts, but we're going to limit it substantially and make sure it's only being used appropriately.
One of the many issues facing Utah businesses are the regulatory burdens that they face. The Libertas Institute is going to tackle this issue in the upcoming session via regulatory sandboxes. This unique solution offers businesses working on frontier and novel products and ideas regulatory relief. To learn more about this issue and read the policy brief, as well as other issues that the Libertas Institute is working on this session, visit our website.